All right, with 2 games out of 3 behind us, we are looking at the final of a best-of-3 series between Cash and HawK. HawK spawning as the blue human player over here at what I'll call the 10 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Cash spawning as the red orc. Now, Game 1 and Game 2 couldn't have been more different in what we saw from the players, as we saw HawK opening up with a Mountain King first, a very, very effective strategy if you can get early access to that all-important Troll Shadow Priest. Now, even though there is a very easily accessible mercenary camp right here, I am not expecting a Mountain King. I am expecting an Archmage to go ahead and train up and do a militia creep out of this location here. Now, you may be wondering why I think HawK would go ahead and change up that strategy. The reason is that the Mountain King strategy really also needs access to an early expansion. And yes, even though the expansion is possible set up over here, it's rather difficult and the Blade Master can get a lot of easy harassment off. An Archmage first does open up a much stronger mid-game for human players, as they're able to use that Brilliance Aura as a way of getting more mana onto those priests, spellbreakers, and sorceress without having to tech to tier 3. However, this map and the positioning is favoring Cash, as he's going to be able to train up an earlier Blade Master and then try and harass out his opponent. Also, Cash in game number 1 was very, very much delayed in getting his Blade Master to level 2. For the longest time, I believe even at the 5-minute mark of the game, the Blade Master had no experience on the board. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening here. There you can see a Peon is taking a fair bit of damage and is just going to end up giving 25 experience to that Archmage much earlier. However, what's going to be happening here as the Archmage ends up taking a boulder to the head, very, very high damage, dropping a second water elemental. It does get ensnared, meaning that the rock golem is not going to go after him. All right, oh, this guy needs to run, and he does run indeed. 2 low hit point militia getting able to return back home. Belt of Giant Strength +6, not the best items for the Archmage, so a bit of an unlucky break for HawK this time around. Now, what's going to be happening here? The Blade Master going to steal that kill, and now even perhaps get another kill on another peasant, and perhaps even this water elemental back over there. 2 water elementals trying to finish off that last troll trapper. Blade Master going to steal that experience and get another unit as well. Blade Master gets to level 2, and Cash has somehow reversed his fortune, stealing much of the experience that HawK would have gotten. Yes, HawK did get to level 2, but that was due to, in part, of that early orc peon that that Cash really just gave him for no apparent reason. Now, what's going to be happening next? The Blade Master wants to get inside this base, and is he going to be able to do that? I don't believe so, as the Blade Master now wandering around on the side over here. Archmage does have Brilliance Aura, which does give him a little bit more free reign, but he is going to be under the gun, so to speak, of that Blade Master constantly. The Belt of Giant Strength also does help his health, already up to 675 max health and 23 strength compared to a normal 16 for an Archmage at the same level. So not only does he have a higher hit point range, he also has better regeneration. Now, Boots of Speed most likely will be purchased right here. Meanwhile, the Footman looking to get an easy surround around a couple of grunts. Not happening so far, as the Archmage hoping to put a little bit of pressure on the Orc base while the Blade Master is away. Meanwhile, the Footmen are hoping to get an easy kill onto this 5-3-3 creep camp, perhaps setting down and putting down pressure onto this here. All right, Cash going to be losing an Orc Burrow, and that Orc Burrow is very critical, as all of a sudden Cash is not going to be able to perhaps get that all-important Shadow Hunter earlier on. However, the Blade Master getting in some easy shots on some Footmen there. They are now in retreat, as the Archmage did get a little bit of experience and will be able to fight back just a little while longer, but I don't believe he needs to, or he's going to be able to stick around for very, very long. Footman looking to turn around, perhaps head back home. Blade Master getting in some easy shots onto some unsuspecting Footmen there, as the Blade Master now continuing that chase. Meanwhile, a new Water Elemental, and this may actually give a big advantage if, yes, another takedown there. The Stronghold is not going to be, or the Stronghold will complete well before that Orc Burrow is done, but the Blade Master now picking out and taking down this Null Overseer here as well. All right. HawK doing what he needs to do. Cash doing what he needs to do. Who is going to come out on top? That is the big question there. It may have a lot to do with this item drop. And could you have asked for a better item for Cash? Claws of Attack +6 on a Blade Master. Very, very nice item, as much of the creep camp was cleared out by HawK. All right, HawK looking around, apparently doesn't check here, and that may have been another small mistake. Archmage wanting to pick up a Clarity Potion and a Healing Salve. No, you can't really say that that was the wrong move there. HawK wanting to be able to continue that pressure. You can see the tech to tier 2 has been completed. I am expecting a Beastmaster. Blade Master gets an easy shot off on the Archmage. Where's that Beastmaster? There he is. Quill Beast dropped down already, as in comes the impending tier 2 push. Tier 2 push has always been a thorn in many Orc players' side, as the Shadow Hunter now being trained up. If the Archmage drops another Water Elemental, which I believe he will, and tries to take down that Bestiary, that is going to be the real source of problems. Another Quill Beast should be coming in as well. Where is that Quill Beast? Archmage, however, going to be taking a lot of critical strikes right there. That was 70-point additional bonus damage from that Windwalk. A big issue, as the the Bestiary and the Spirit Lodge get completed a bit sooner than I would have expected. Now, that probably had to do with a lot of the delay in these Orc Burrows. Normally, the Shadow Hunter is trained first, and then those 2 additional buildings are built. But because of the timing of those builds, or because of the timing of that Orc Burrow, he could afford to get that later one first. All right, Archmage taking a lot of damage, has to be very careful. Uses a Potion of Healing, and now backs off. There is a Priest right there, and what is going to be happening? That Blade Master using that Clarity Potion, not even getting interrupted, and you cannot let little things like that go. Water Elemental using that just a spray gun against those poor peons. They're getting splashed in the face, not taken down as of yet, as the Blade Master, does not take down that low hit point Footman. Instead, you can still see a little bit of damage being added here. No Dust of Appearance that I see, as the Blade Master is slowed, but is currently all right. All right, let's take a look. Low hit point Footman, pretty much trying to bait out that Blade Master. No heals, and that Footman, I believe, has got to fall down. There it goes, 70 hit point Windwalk strike bonus on top of the 29 to 57, or was that, no, 35 to 57 bonus damage because of those Claws of Attack +6. Cash is in a very good spot. Level 3 on the Blade Master. Archmage only sitting at level 2. Beastmaster only sitting at level 1. No HawK in play to keep track of that Blade Master, as the Blade Master is doing a good job just trying to contain the Archmage. Without any economic advantage, things are going to be very difficult, as the Blade Master may come in with the steal. Does he get the steal? Yes, he gets the steal and the Mantle of Intelligence item, and things are just going from bad to worse for HawK. Not having that Dust of Appearance, or not using it at the right time, the real cause for problem and concern there. Meanwhile, a bunch of low hit point units. Water Elemental could get taken down. Footman could get taken down. However, what is going on here? They're chasing after a Raider. Down goes the Raider, as the Sorceress now turning back around. Very low hit point units. There goes one Water Elemental. There goes a Footman. There goes another Footman. And what was an advantageous fight does quickly become an absolute nightmare for HawK, as he has lost far too many units now. Speed Scroll quickly used in order to get a Raider back into the safe zone, as the Speed Scroll is now being used to chase after some of these Sorceress. All right, slow once again cast. A Raider now getting taken down. Beastmaster now sitting at level 2. Does have a Potion of Invulnerability. Uses it just in time, as, are we going to see the Spirit Walker get taken down? Yes, in the ethereal form. Those Sorceress deal terrible damage. But this is still looking like Cash's game, as the Cash is at level 4 on his Blade Master with no slowdown in sight. Archmage still sitting at level 2. Beastmaster at level 2 trying to fight back. Blade Master doing a good job here. Shadow Hunter, if he gets the level 3, that will pretty much be the end of it. We need to see the chase by the Beast Master. There goes the Water Elemental taking one down. Blade Master almost gets a Beast Master, but a Scroll of Town Portal comes in just in time. All right, there's a Scroll of Town Portal returning everything back here. It is going to hit just a reset button in this fight, but Cash sitting at 47 over 50 supply compared to 34 over 42. Economic advantage, none. Hero advantage, Cash. Supply and army size advantage, Cash. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And it looks like Cash is going to be trying to ride this into victory here, as he looks like he's going to be going in for that killing blow. All right, Archmage dropping down another Water Elemental here. Quill Beast being dropped down quickly and snared. You see the army may catch these units in a little bit of a transit. And there you go, Beastmaster, no way of getting saved. 150 hit point strike as the Beastmaster gets taken down at level 2. Level 3 now on the Shadow Hunter. A quick Hex should be coming in the works. Slow cast, no speed. No, Speed Scroll is available. And there you see it as the Blade Master now chasing this. And this is going to be it. Blade Master getting in front of the Archmage. Archmage going to fall at level 2 as well, even though all the units are slowed. Still not going to be enough damage, and that has got to be the GG, as the Water Elementals quickly getting disenchanted down to nothingness. Blade Master may even get to level 5. Nope, there is the game. Cash easily taking game number 3 in this series and taking the final win. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this best of 3 series, Cash versus HawK.